Welcome. Hey, I'm Kloaf11 and we're doing some Overwatch cases today. They seem to be pretty interesting. Most of mine have not been that guilty. They've mostly been either bad players or players with solid teammates that don't really understand the game from what I can tell. But we'll see what we get. Hopefully we get something entertaining. And hopefully we ban some people who, well, not ban, but guilt some people who deserve it. Okay, so we have a Bristleback. First is minute 1, feeding. He's the off lane. It's ranked. It's a roll queue then, and it's ranked. He's a low guardian. Last hitting. Who's that in his lane? Undying? Yeah. Bristol's telling him to stop trying to take his last hits. I've never seen that before in a game. That low. Oh, that's a bit feedy. That's a bit feedy. Let's see where we go from here. He died again. So he's back. TP's, walks up. He's back in lane. He's not feeding. Oh, we'll go back and look at that first marker again. Okay, him and Dime must be arguing. I bet you he does it again. Yeah, he's easy open and shut case. That is definitely feeding. Say no more. Guilty, not guilty. You're welcome. Yeah, that was feeding. He most likely got pissed off at somebody, at Undying, for just trying to steal his last hits, which is understandable, but you don't feed over that. Like, that's taking something that's bad and making it worse. Now, instead of one lane being kinda you're now making the whole lane be bad. It's not good. You're feeding the carry. There's a lot of griefing involved in feeding that way. I understand you get frustrated, but do not take it out on the other 3 people on your team trying. So because one dude's an asshole doesn't mean you need to throw the game. And he's only an asshole for taking last hits, which is something that won't even happen after like 10 minutes, most likely. Now, if he runs around the map stealing your farm, I've had that happen. Report them for griefing. Hopefully they get guilty because they deserve it when that happens. So now we have a safe lane Wraith King for griefing. Basically for me, griefing in a ranked, it's also ranked because it says Crusader. It's ranked roll queue. So in ranked roll queue, in my opinion, playing your lane or not playing your role is definitely griefing. But we'll see if that happens. So far he's last hitting, everything looks fine. We'll watch that 2 times. Okay, so it was a little too low. CM wasn't close. She's fighting with Pudge. Not a big deal. She got the kill on Pudge. Nice. That's not griefing. That's not feeding. It was marked though, so I'm expecting. Oh, this is marked because she doesn't want him to take the pole camp. Reasonable argument, but not really griefing. Feeding, she waited till last second to help. I'm mostly a carry player myself, but I do actually play support in rank queue. Roll queue to me, especially ranked, is very important to play properly, where you have the role you like or you're just filling. Was he even alive in that marker? You probably shouldn't skip. Let's watch all this at. So he's dead. He's farming. He's farming, watching fights, farming. Only 10 minutes in. He's doing what he's supposed to. Died there to a neutral creep. Not griefing, but it's hilarious and sad. But at this level, it happens. Saint Roche. Okay. He has no items. I missed that at some point. Did he just do that? Okay. So here. Is this a bug? So he has items. Well, I know the moment where he doesn't have items. If that... Okay. Oh! Oh! I missed it the first time. So it's after this death, it looks like. This is all the evidence we need. I almost missed he didn't have any items. Okay, so he dies. He'll be back in 20 seconds. We'll speed it up just for the death. Okay, he bought back at the last second. He's selling his items. And then he plays the rest of the game with no items. That is 100% griefing. Yep. Okay. I'm so glad I got that. That is definitely griefing and definitely not cheating. Okay, let's see if we got more. We do got more. I think I do this quite often, and I think my reports are my guilties are very fair. Now, I feel like if Valve thinks you do a good job, then they send you more and more. Because at first I'd get 1 or 2, and then it'd stop. And after a while, I was getting like 3, 4, 5. So I definitely think, based on how well you do at this, they do send you more. Maybe it's the more active you've been without any blatant wrongness decides on how many you get. But I like to think I'm doing a good job. Process. Okay. I used to play a lot off lane, that's why I have clockwork. But I've rotated into a safe lane type of player. I still play very good off lane on my 5-roll queues when I get in the 3rd position, which is probably my favorite place to land in a 5 queue, but I do support very well, I feel. Lots of stacks for my carries. I usually average like 18, which for my tier I feel is really good. Okay, so let's turn off auto skip. Let's go to beginning. So we are watching a Techies in Archon. Still showing Wraith King. Alright, we'll continue from here. Okay. Okay, so he refilled mana. He is this is not, oh, this is scripting or hacking. It's not griefing. Okay. 30 minutes in, his items aren't that good. Tried to leave, he didn't deny himself. You try and tell me this is scripting or hacking? What? He's ping, hey guys, they're in Roche. I mean, so far I don't see any scripting or hacking. Definitely ain't griefing at this point. Though, some people might feel Techies in general is just griefing, but a good Techies isn't. He doesn't seem to be doing bad. His items are pretty decent in my opinion. He's focusing on keeping waves pushed out. It's still kind of early, even though his team in this position, this is normally where I look for trying a GG push if we can get a winning fight, because then they buy back and get really far behind, or they just lose. But they don't have tier 2 down, so I think his current defense of lanes is fine. Yep, Monkey King get experience and kills. I'm not seeing anything that indicates scripting or hacking yet. We're not within the report bounds yet, though, so it's not really engaging with people. I feel like a techie's engaging with people would... He's not throwing down mines. He's not participating. The only time he suicided was for a death. It's like a sniper all he's done. Is blast off really only a 10-second cooldown? 22 seconds? That was 30-second cooldown? I thought it was longer. Interesting. But again, still not seeing anything that looks like scripting or hacking. Very general play overall. Usually when you think scripting, hacking, you think like they're just being really good. Like I just played against MP who in Archon Crusader microed his treants so much better than I expected, but everything else about his play was terrible. So he's not a smurf. I don't think he was scripting, so I didn't report him at all, but he did really good in lane phase with microing his treants. Again, nothing, just normal play. Go back, get mana, bomb up the base for some reason. I mean, if it was like tier 3, I'd get it in case they tried chasing really far. But the well, this early, is just... So far, nothing. Okay. Let's go next marker. Slow it down to 2. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see anything for scripting. Sometimes I wonder what made these people think scripting. I wish there was like a little... That's not scripting. He was literally watching it, waiting for somebody to go in. But I wish I knew what some... Ooh, that was nice. First half. Not scripting, but... Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. We've seen almost the whole game. Let's look at the last marker. I don't even really have. Throwing out a bomb, instantly detonating is not scripting. I mean, it could be, but it'd be kind of pointless. I mean, you could call being a 60-minute game scripting, but yeah, no. So far, I'm not a jug with blink. I love that, man. So old school. I've thought about that one game recently where I had a sniper with a blink dagger. I'm like, man, he's so hard to even get quick slash off on. I kind of... Okay, we're past the last point. I have not seen anything, my dude. You are not guilty of griefing or cheating in any way. You might be a button spammer and a techie picker, which could be griefers on their own right, but not by the actual rules of griefing. I love how we watched a 30 to 60 minute game where it wasn't over at 60 minutes, man. Those games are so bad. And it's not techies' fault. People are like, we got techies, prepare for the long haul. But it's like, that's not why your game is that long. Okay, so Let's set up and let's look at this. So we got a Death Prophet off lane, feeding Archon. We're 27 minutes into a game. Feeding, you can kind of get a sense easily at any speed. So pushing, gotta try and fight. Team's there, it's team fight. That's not feeding, that's losing a team fight where half your team wasn't there. I get started 1v1, a couple more show up. A couple more of your teammates show up, and then their teammates win. And it's just a mid-v-mids where you still had the second. What's the death? 4 for 4? That's not feeding at this point. There better be some feeding in here, or I'm going to be upset. People don't know what feeding is, apparently. Dying a lot because of bad choices or bad play is not feeding. The bristleback who ran under a tower was feeding. She's trying to roast, that's not feeding. She's actively trying to live. And then they ganked her because no one was helping. Not really feeding. Actively trying to get Aegis for her team. Still playing. She smoked. Okay. Is this the feeding? So she went there. Yo, there's griefing. I will report her for griefing. Okay, now she's trying to... Okay. So the tag was feeding. This part is griefing. Actively died too. That's feeding and griefing. Okay. Yeah, submit. You almost made it till the end, but at the end you gave in to your feeder and your griefer. Like, just lose the game gracefully, guys. Don't sell items. Don't buy divines. Don't feed. Like, it's so easy. Like, okay. Let's do one more. Just don't be a bad player. If you wouldn't like if somebody did it, don't do it. Even if you're upset, even if you're mad, even if the game is unwinnable, you shouldn't be doing that at all, ever. Just don't. I mean, if you think of doing it, don't do it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Ready to review. Let's see what we have for our final case. Maybe it'll be open and shut case. I didn't have that much time. We'll see. We'll see. I'm watching you, Dota 2 players. I think WoW players are bad, but Dota 2 players are pretty bad. But it's been getting better. Okay, we're pretty much at the start of this. A few minutes in, not a big deal. Any mage griefing. Okay, so typically a carry like this griefing. It's one who had a bad lane. Actually, we can go to the start of this, so let's watch his laning while we're at it. Okay. Okay, it said 13 down here, so I thought the whole 13 minutes was behind it. It's not. Okay. That's fine. We'll watch from here. Looks like he had a rough lane. No boots. I mean, I would even take brown boots at this point. It's bad, but it's not necessarily griefing. He's farming jungle. Probably had a terrible lane. Was probably against, I guess, Death Prophet and... Who's there other... Who's there for? Was... Well, this... Okay. So I'm looking for a 4. But to be fair, this is not a ranked game and it's not roll queue. So... He's farming, he's farming, he's farming, he's working towards Battle Fury. Basically a naked Battle Fury. No boots, 1 Wraith Band, Falling Blade. Not the best, but not bad. And by not bad, I mean literally not the worst thing he could do. Now he was just standing there. Okay, didn't stand there for very long. Maybe he checked his phone or something. So I don't take my stack. They have like 4 carries themselves, so this must be very low hit MMR game. I'd keep that personally. Give one of the neutral items up though. Oh, he just ate it. Okay, he just ate all his items. He got so tilted. He ate all his items. Now he's dropping neutral items in an unreachable place. Okay. No item. Stealing farm. Stealing creeps. Building towards a divine rapier. It's like we haven't seen that before. Okay. I don't need to see more. There is no more guilty at griefing than selling your items, hiding neutral items, and stealing farms with the intention of building a divine rapier to feed. That is the ultimate pinnacle of revenge griefing. Well, we got a few guilties today and a few not. I was honestly surprised that last game turned into griefing. I'm going to be honest. But there we have it. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.